Hey guys, today this is going to be a video of me explaining Dreamhack, Dreamhack December duos with Miro. I'm going to explain my thought process, my rotations, and a bunch of different things that you can probably pick up on and learn from. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and sub. It's free, so I appreciate you guys watching. So our drop for Dreamhack was Coral, and basically we knew that we were going to get this uncontested pretty much because there's nobody else in the lobby who really went Coral. So we knew that we were going to get an uncommon. We weren't really worried about it. We also knew that there was probably going to be two teams here because there was some Twitter stuff going on. So we knew that there would be two teams Shark. So our plan coming into this was we were going to loot Coral and push Shark first game for Surge because we knew that it was only going to happen like first game. In fact, right here, we didn't expect this guy to be here. So we actually did have some issues with this guy right here, but I'll continue. So basically, we end up looting our spot and stuff like that. We knew what was going to happen here. We knew exactly what we were going to do because we knew what was going to happen. We saw two teams dropping in Coral. We had to make a decision to push that guy or push Shark. And I told Miro we should probably push Shark because the guy over there could just swim away, but we know that the people Shark would be fighting and it'd be a third-party cleanup. So I loot up. We both get max brick right here, and we push right here because we know that they're fighting, so we end up just pushing really fast. Right here, this is a really easy fight, basically, that we can take. Look how easy this is. Like, we come third party this, we know that they're fighting. It's really easy. We end up getting a beam on him. He instantly dies. And then Ronaldo and them, they kill Artur. These are EU players. So we play it up because we can play angles here. Try to get some tags here. That was a really easy shot that I actually should have hit. And one thing that happens right here, which is really weird, and I don't agree with this at all. What Ron does here, and this is why we pretty much get a free kill. Ron ends up teleporting through this. And that was really weird. So once we heard that, we're like, okay, well, we have a 2v1 here, so let's come and take it. I heard him here, so I knew where he was. I'm like, he's right on the stairs. I knew exactly where he was. So we take this 2v1 right here. We play it pretty well. So we figure out where he is, because we know he's on the stairs, basically. We basically trap him here, and then we basically just straight kill him. Get the kill here, we shake, and we don't camp card because zone's really far away. Normally we would camp card, but we didn't camp card. We're the ones in salty, and zone is this far away. So we basically just end up going as fast as we can. Where even am I? I can't find it. Right here. Right here, we get trapped, so we don't need Surge. We know that we can't go in here. We didn't really have a choice. We could have gone more north, but that's just as congested. The side that we were on is just really, really messed up. We're kind of screwed here. So I tell Miro that we should probably just chill under this mountain until Surge hits so that we can third-party a fight for a refresh. Because our mats aren't really that good either, and we use a lot because these people are all shooting at us and this team up here is shooting at us. So we get under this mountain here. We take some shield. We end up running out of heals completely. But yeah, so I end up waiting here, and there's not much we can do here. We just wait here. This was a really good comp for me, right? So we lose all of our shield, right? We're in a really bad spot. We have to rotate all the way in. I tell him use as many mats as we can. We can get a refresh when we're here. We'll take a fight. We get really lucky here. So I'll tell you what's going through my mind right here. I see this massive fight right here. Well, it's not massive, but I see a fight right here, and I think we can definitely third party this, or at least make something happen out of this. I don't know when I realized it, but I realized it about now, I think. I tell him, get in this building, and then we get pretty lucky here, I'm not even gonna lie. But here's what happens. We get a refresh here, we break in the back of the tarp, we know that they're fighting. I tell them to get over to me, we end up breaking through. This is just a really fluid refresh, we get pretty lucky here. Pretty clean kill. We end up holding, we know there's more loot there, but we get a rift fish here, which is unbelievably lucky. We get a free refresh, max. We get shield, everything. Super lucky on our part, but it was also a good play to go and third party it. Right here, I looked at the zone and I'm like, you know, the way that the zone is, we have to go up a mountain. I think it's better if we just use our rift here, because I believe, what else do we have? We had 3 bouncers and shockwaves. So I'm like, let's just use our rift. We rift, we go down, get a pretty nice spot in zone. Tell them to drop me a shockwave because I have an open slot. Then we wait out Surge here because we obviously don't have to worry about Surge. We got a bunch of kills. Not even close. We don't make any edits. We don't get lobby focus, and this is just pretty smooth sailing. We get really lucky. We get half and half here. Kinda, I guess. I think we do get it. Yeah, so we go in here. Oh, that hurt me. There's like a thing right there. Get half and half. Get pretty lucky. Rotate in. Building a bit. And what happens here is Commandment and Stretch are one of the most aggro duos, and they're right below us. So they try to get some kills on us. They try to get some picks. So we ended up just making a whole new box and staying away from it completely, because they will play super aggro. They will do dumb shit. and it's kind of annoying. This is a really good call here, guys. So I hear a rift pop, right? I hear that rift pop, and I'm like, yo, I see it. We go get it, because a lot of the new players, they didn't play when rifts were in the game. They didn't play comp when rifts were in the game. So they don't know about, like, leeching rifts and taking other people's mobility. So, like, Mirror doesn't know, like, rifts are pretty hard to understand for some people. We take it. This was a really good call by me right here. We're the last people who rifted, which is always kind of what you want. Well, no, actually we weren't, but we were almost the last people who rifted. I say leech it again, okay? That's also a good call right there, because we're not wasting mats, and white HP doesn't really matter that much, so it was worth the tick. Now we are the last people in the air, and that's really good because you get to pick and choose where you are. You have a good idea of what's going on. Then I dive into the guy's box. Trolling, of course. These replays suck. Oh, this is unlucky, actually. I wish that I could show you guys what happened, but I landed accidentally in this guy's box, and this was almost kind of bad, but we end up getting pretty lucky. We box up here together. He gives me some heals. We run out of heals here, but it ends up working out fine. We're just tarping towards zone, obviously holding it. We know that we're in a really bad spot here, so we just go over, and we go down a bit. We have a lot of mats here, so we want to make sure we use them all. We also have mobility, bouncers, and shockwaves. So we decide to bouncer to zone here. And then we get a really free thing here. And then this guy just lands in our box, which is kind of lucky. So we get an absolute free refresh here. I tell him to tarp ahead while I'm healing. He tarps ahead, saving mats out of metal. Basically just going ahead zone, playing in game pretty standard. Right here we see, I mean, I wish I could tell you what's going on, but it's like, so we go up, I believe. I think I go up because that layer is really congested, so we go up a layer. And we just tarp in zone here. We have a ton of mats here, we just keep playing it. Zone pulls far, so here I think we end up bouncing. Oh no, we end up shockwaving. That's a fine play. Takes us literally in the exact spot as each other. In the same tarp, start tarping, pretty standard. Playing on a good layer right here. It's conserving mats by stair tarping. We end up looking for a refresh here, because I think Mirror doesn't have that many mats. But, like right here, I want to spray this guy down. I should have just done it right here. I shouldn't have waited. It would have been a free refresh, but I waited too long. So we bounce our head here, I think. I guess we don't, but I thought we bounced our head one of these times. I guess we didn't. Kind of box that, and then I get hit pretty hard, so I'm like, give it up. We end up giving it up. Just read the other box, the goat, you know. He drops some mats, and then this is actually important about what I just did. So a lot of people wouldn't like cancel their big pot, right? They wouldn't cancel their big pot right there to get the low ground. But he calls low ground's free, go low ground. And if let's say I stuck that big pot right there and drank it all. Somebody could have jumped in, like this team for example, they could have jumped into his box and killed him. It could have gotten him killed. It could have gotten me killed. So I decided that it's probably not worth it to stick the big pot, and I'm just going to get to him, which I think was 100% the right play here, because we get free low ground, and low ground's pretty important. So I pop the big again here, drop him some mats so you can tarp ahead. And then right here, they run right into our tarp. And I make a mistake here that's pretty important, or that's pretty big. So right here, I don't know if this was a good play or a bad play. I personally think I should have been with Miro here at the front of zone instead of behind them. I don't know 100%, but my gut tells me that I probably should have been with Miro maybe. But regardless, it does end up working out for me. I mean, Miro does die here though. Just watch. So that's kind of unlucky, but they're on my edit, so I just, yeah, dominated. Absolutely dominated. And then here, I personally don't like it when my teammates calm when I'm dead or tell me what to do. I usually tell my teammates to, like, not really tell me anything. Like, the only thing that I ever really want my teammates to tell me is my mats. That guy ends up dying to zone, but I end up getting his loot. That guy, I don't like when my teammates tell me what to do. It makes me, like, not be able to think for some reason. Okay, I kind of whiffed a few shots here, but I went. So, looking back, I don't think that this was the right play, okay? I'm just going to be honest here. I think after I killed Creo here, shockwaving up was not the right play. To be fair, I didn't know the entire situation, but I should have edited up and then just built instead of shockwaving up and taking the boom battle. I also make another mistake here, right? Is after I get beamed, I have 370 builds here, and he has 0. And instead of just building and winning the one by playing angles, I take the 50-50. which really was not a good idea. I made a big mistake there. It kind of cost us the win. But nevertheless, that was game 1, I believe. And we were in 3rd after this game. So the top 2 teams popped off pretty hard. This game, nothing really interesting happens off spawn. Those kids land the island again. I don't really have to break down the off spawn too much. We loot it, you know, do the standard fish. We do pull zone, which is really lucky here. But we end up rotating over because we do know that we do need Surge, and we know that they're fighting here because they died in the kill feed. We know that Ron and Blake died in the kill feed. So we come over here. Miro gets tags for Surge, and that's how we get our Surge. We get tags in this guy and this team over here. After Surge expires, I see a free rotate, so I just tell him, swim across, we can get to castle right here and get some refarm. So we just run. I think we're peppered up here at this point, so we're peppered up, and we're just running. We get free refarm at castle, which is a good call. My loot's pretty good, his loot's pretty good. We've god loot here. So we try to take a box fight here for Surge, because we do know that we still need Surge here. He hits him pretty hard. But I tell him to give it. I tell Miro to give it up here because there's a bunch of third parties around us, and we don't really want to get third party here. Yeah, so we hear them die right here next to us. So we're like, this is a free refresh. Oh, he's on our wall. We should have boxed him. I tried to, but whatever. Oh yeah, no, we hear him getting hit by Surge, so I think we get a refresh from him. Yeah. So he dies. Get a free refresh, literally gifted to us, which is kind of funny. Miro kills him. Right here, I see the zone is pulling pretty far towards the east. So, I mean west. What am I saying? And basically, we end up setting up a bouncer shockwave here. Pretty standard. We do make some mistakes in this game though, so it's nothing perfect. I get a tag though, it's pretty nice. We have height here, so even though there's a bunch of rifters and people are trying to hold it, I didn't really want to hold it here because I saw this team ramping up. I didn't want them to shockwave on us. I also don't want people straight suiciding us because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's like 14 people in the air. So I didn't really want to deal with that. I'm like, let's just get low ground here. Let's start. I mean, we can hold. I think we hold height a little bit here, but I don't want to deal with it. I tell them just get to me. Team behind us, we should have played greedier for those kills, to be honest. Their edge zone, super shambles. Would have been really nice to get those points and the Surge and the mats. I bouncer here into a person's tarp, so I'm like, damn, this is Miro gets split from me. He's all the way in God knows where. I don't even know where he is. He's just up here, like, on height. I think he instantly, yeah, he dies here. The bouncer took him wherever. I don't even know how he got, let me see. I guess the bouncer took him really far. I think the bouncer is probably a good play here. Oh! Because he bounced in the wrong direction. He said that was a bad play. That's his fault. The fuck? He bounced in the wrong direction. Alright, basically he bounces in the wrong direction and gets him killed. I didn't even know that. I want to leech other people's builds. I want to save as many builds as I can. So I leech as many people's builds as I can to get into zone. Right here I'm chilling. I only have 4 builds, but I know I can get a refresh back to zone here. Top 13 now. I should have killed this guy. Probably should have given him a bit harder. These people scare me. You know, it's pretty hard to solo duo, so I didn't play it perfectly. I got some extra placement though. I come back, leech his tarp, maybe try to get some extra mats here or something. Run into full duo's box, and then I come down, keep getting placement. I'm in a really bad spot, and then this guy's 1 HP. Man, if shotguns were a bit better, I probably could have killed him. I thought he was only 1 hit to the air. I probably could have killed him with my shotgun. More of the story, don't bounce in the wrong direction. We get into Sweaty because we get a really lucky zone here again. This is pretty lucky. We get into Sweaty because we need some ammo. It's pretty free. Try to get some tags. Don't really get any. Get in a car here. Tell them to get on the road because what happens here, guys, is if I get on the road here, and if I rotate through here, look how many people I have to go through, right? I have to go through 5 teams. But if I go on the road, I can get a dead side rotate where there's almost nobody, and I only have to worry about these people in the car. I headshot snipe Macwood here because he has a magnet in his head and he's basically JFK. So headshot snipe him, we push it. Try to not let him res, he ends up resing anyway. Right here, we probably should have given up the push here. But we kind of fought it. You know, waste a little bit of mats here. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really hurt us that much. We refarm here. Basically, end up rotating here. We're getting shot at a lot. Like, we're getting tagged a lot from everybody here because we're on the dead side. I tell them to LOS, the mountain, which means line of sight. What that means is if you LOS something, it means that you're putting an object in between you and natural terrain. So natural terrain in between you and somebody shooting at you, like fucking Rio, I guess. So I'm LOSing the hill. I tell him to LOS it. We get in here. This is pretty nice. Our loot's pretty good. And then something unfortunate happens. So I guess this is kind of unfortunate. He dies from behind him, but he also gets beamed from them. You always want to overbuild. If somebody's shooting at you like that, it's worth burning an extra even 100 mats to not die there, because you can get beamed pretty hard. So I tell him to just overbuild next time. I've auto-reviewed this with him because I was really mad about this. So we die here, and then I end up dying. I can't really work much with this because they fight me. There's not much I can do here. It's pretty unfortunate. I get pushed by Jack and Acorn because they know I'm a solo, which is a good play by them. And that's game 3. So this game, again, we don't do that well. We get Surge here. It's pretty unfortunate. There's not really much to say about the early of the game. What happens here, guys, is Clicks and Bizzle start fighting us, right? And Clicks is fucking crazy at the game. Like, Clicks is so good at the game. I'm not even trolling. So they start fighting us. Kind of get pooped on. I'm not even gonna lie. So we have to end up bouncer shotgunning away. We were stacked this game too. We were super stacked this game, but they needed Surge. They got Surge. We're still stacked this game after they do that to us, which is kind of crazy. We ended up rotating here through the complete free plane, I guess. So zone rotates pretty far south. We're in a pretty bad spot. I tell them just to rotate. We use a lot of mats here because we use a lot of mats on Clicks on them. Miro has basically 500 builds. Try to get some Surge here because we do need some. And then the most unfortunate thing happens, right? The last play, I'm not even joking. They had 0 points. Look. They have 0 points on game 4. 0 points. Look at this. Look at what they do. He runs it. He sprays through it. Runs in. We kill him. They end up both dying. And then we get lobby focus. So this guy snipes me. He's stacked out of his mind. He snipes me? He snipes me! So I get sniped by this guy, which is... Yeah, Miro dies. Not much to talk about. So we end up dying here, which is pretty unlucky. Yeah. Besides the fact that, okay, never mind. Wow. That was fun. Going into this game, me and Miro were in 13th place in the tournament. So we weren't doing good. This is 13 out of 50 duos. We were doing pretty rough. We knew that we needed to come back here. We needed a big game to come back. And we ended up getting it. So after off spawn, we get a pretty good zone over towards Steamy. So the rotates here, they're pretty easy. There wasn't any really crazy rotates here. So we end up just rotating straight in here. Nothing we need to do that's that nuts. We get some Surge off Ron and Blake here, I think. And this is a really good player. I drive as center as I can, even though we're getting hit. I want to get the zone here. I want to get in a really good spot because nobody's rotated yet. So I just keep driving. We get in a really good spot here. And then the luckiest thing of my Fortnite career happens. So the stars aligned, basically. The stars aligned. I can't even lie. These people above us are gliding out of the air from a rift. And he ends up dying midair. He gets finished. And I'm like, yo, a llama just popped up. So let me put this into perspective for you guys. What we got here is we got 2 rift fish. Or I think we got, no, it was only 1 rift fish. We got 1 rift fish. I got a better attack. We got max. And we got some really good loot. So this puts us back in the game. We're like, wow, this game is pretty much unlosable at this point. We also get 4 floppers from it. So we're stacked out of our mind at this point. We're like, this is unlosable. We built a massive base. Miro gets knocked here, which actually wasn't his fault. He told me it was his fault, but it wasn't. Look at this. So he's 100 HP, right? And he accidentally gets dinked. He gets some Surge here. He gets quadruple dinked, which was really unlucky. So I end up getting the res here. I end up sticking because they get sprayed at. Sticking reses is really good sometimes because they usually don't have enough time to do anything. So I stick the res here. Get that ramp. They're EU players, so we got pretty lucky on that. Expand a ton. We know we have a lot of extra mats. Again, we get lucky because we get half and half. I tell him to heal up. And then right here, I crack him. Get a Surge, which is really nice. It prevents us from dying to it. I tell him to get the floppers. I get him the floppers. We very well could have died here to Surge. And our tournament definitely would have been over. But this team below us comes here. And we get pretty lucky. Or it just goes away, I guess. Which is really lucky on our part. We get a free refresh here. I don't even know how. I think it's mirror box him. Refresh machine. Get max again. So we get rifted up, which was like really lucky. So we get rifted up, and then he sees that height's free, so he calls it. I tell him no, but he says it's free, and then I realize, yeah, that's probably a good idea. So we build up, get height. It's pretty nice. We didn't even want to hold it here. The moment somebody went for it, we were going to give it up. We end up realizing, oh, we can actually hold height here. It goes up here to the stack, so we go up. We end up just cranking up. He doesn't have a lot of mats here. I've 800 here, and he only has like 300. So pretty unlucky, but we end up building up, get to the stack. I tell him to build up as high as he can. And he didn't have that many mats there, so it wasn't really viable, but we chill here. I tell him to get to me. I think he ends up getting to me somehow. This is a pretty easy kill to get, so he's pretty lit. Get a kill there. And then I get the refresh here. And I think he ends up killing this guy too. Yeah. So, right here, what I see, right, is look what I see. I look down and I see, oh my god. Look at the height difference, right? So, literally instantly, I think to myself, instead of like, a lot of people would panic and just start tarping down and going down, but that probably would have got me killed. So I thought instantly, go back to the stack. And I did it instantly. I told Mira to do it too. And this worked perfectly. It put us in a really good spot to win the game. Saved us mats. We only had to tank like a tick or two of zone. Hold height here, get a pretty clean win. Try to kill the guy in the air. And then we 2v2 clicks on them, and we have high ground, so it's pretty much unlosable for us. Mir wins the game. So we were in a 10 kill win. This put us in second place. We were only 2 points behind first, I think. Or no, 9 points behind first, something like that. So this game is very winnable. This tournament was very winnable. We're in game here. Let me explain the situation. This is actually the most important comm of the entire tournament. I tell them, let's put on this USA soccer skin. And the reason why that's the most important comm is because this skin's the god skin for popping off. No troll. Thank you, Zexro. So I'll let you guys know. This gets pretty unlucky here. We end up rotating. We need Surge. I tell them waste as much mats as you can if somebody looks at you or shoots at you, because it's better than getting headshot sniped. I played a lot of tournaments before. I have so much tournament experience that I know that it's not worth ruining your tournament for a few builds, so you have to overbuild. Strep and Nosh, legendary players, as you guys know. They're holding height here. I didn't expect them to push me, so they end up just playing super aggro because their tournament, they're not doing that well, right? So they need a lot of kills. They end up just pushing me. Both of them, I don't know how I live here. I actually don't. Look at this. How do I live here? In no world should I live here. Thank God we played against some tier 4 players here. So I actually get out of here somehow. And then Mira gets an 80 tag. He kind of clutches this fight really hard. Nosh absolutely dominates him. Pure domination. He kills them. I scream at him. I'm telling them that he's the best player in the world. He tells me to calm down. I'm like, yeah, I'll calm down. And then right here, we're completely stacked. We have 1k mats of each pretty much. We got a free refresh, 10 points, free surge for the rest of the game. And here, this is basically unlosable. We basically just tarp in here and play pretty safe. We bounce our shockwave. We're not worried about it. We're pretty stacked. Tarp in. We don't really want to do anything crazy. And at this point, it's tournament management, right? So in game 6, when we're tied for first or close to first, it's tournament management at this point. And that means basically managing the entire tournament. So that's a hard thing to explain, but there's a bunch of components, but one of the components of that is basically knowing who can pass you in points and seeing if they die or not, because it really is helpful with knowing how much you have to do or knowing how safe you have to play or how aggressive you have to play. So at this point, we know that not a lot of people who can beat us are dead. We know that there's one team did die who was close to us. I forget who it was. Bouncer shockwave zone. It takes me nowhere here. I almost get boxed, which is kind of unlucky. End up just going up. I almost get boxed right there. Build up. He's a lot of mats. Overbuild. He tarps. Nothing much to do. We know Strodels dies here, and he was like doing pretty decent, so that was really good. And then here, this game is pretty much unlosable at this point. We get a kill on these guys. These guys were also doing pretty good. Yeah, look, they had 219. We had 250. They weren't super close, but they were pretty close. So we get the kill here, bring the body back to our base, get the refresh. But yeah, we just wait here. We end up popping the rift. Commandment dies here, and that's really nice because we know that they were doing pretty good. So we know that they're out of the running. Now we don't end up getting it. It's kind of unlucky. We shockwave here. It sends me in the right spot. Oh, did I kill him anyway? Oh, So we get the refresh, basically. Get the refresh. I have 2 shotguns here that I didn't mean to have. I pick up the charge. We rotate ahead of zone here. I'm like, come down here. I tell him to follow me. I end up tarping. Miro somehow gets caught up and dies here. Oh, so I think right here, he looks for something that I don't really think we should have looked for. He ends up dying. I get down, put down to 1 HP, and I die here too. So we both die. At this point, nobody who's even close to us is alive. Actually, I think Mega and Dubs were. So basically, won the tournament pretty surprisingly, I guess, because we really were in a bad spot after game 4. We were only top 13. A lot of luck was involved with that, but also some skill.